We're back!
We have a full show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. MAAC Sports Talk Network back in action. We got men's and women's basketball coverage as well as a little swimming and diving coverage as well.
It's semester 2, MSTN.
Right now.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MAAC Sports Talk Network. We got Garen Marchetti to my left and Dylan Arthur to my right. Gentlemen, great to be back, huh?
Yes, we are back. Ryan Calvi has the night off tonight, but it's great to be back for another semester, gentlemen. Had a great time doing it last semester, and a capping project turns into a little more permanent of a project here for us with MSTN.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have a lot of new contributors to this program, as you'll see behind the scenes and on camera as well. So we're very, very thrilled to be back with you this semester and covering the wide world of Marist athletics. And there were plenty of games this past weekend, Dylan.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into the highlights. Senior day at the McCann Arena. Marist taking on Quinnipiac. Seniors celebrating with their family.
Yeah, great moment, Dylan. You really love to see this. You know, great turnout and really honor these seniors and what they meant to this program.
Speaking of a senior right there, Pat Ramsey, a little turnaround jumper there. Looking like an old seasoned vet in there. He was the leading scorer at the end of the first media timeout. Another senior there, Adam Kemp, up and one. And then defense for the Red Foxes, Justin.
Yeah, they were really creating a lot of turnovers with that full court press after they switched to it. And here we got Siobhan Lewis, a little dish to Kemp with the putback.
Red Foxes on fire in the defense again. Khalid Hart picking up Philip Lawrence's steal, putting it in. Marist feeling good early. Lewis, he just scores at will, Justin, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. He just wants the ball. He wants to put it in the hoop. Here he is again, kicking out to TJ Curry. Swoosh!
Adam Kemp, they really established him down low early in this game, Justin, and he was a force to be reckoned with. Potential MAAC Rookie of the Year there, showing off his stuff, driving down the lane, Khalid Hart.
And here it is. Here is the play of the day, folks. Dylan, take it away.
Siobhan Lewis up! Oh, wow.
Throwing it down.
Posterized him. Let's take a look at it again. Watch Khalid find Siobhan. And here's Jeff Bauer and some of the Marist basketball players talking about the big win over Quinnipiac.
Might have been our best game of the year, so hopefully it's something that we can take into the week ahead, have some momentum, and find ourselves in position to be successful.
Well, we know that, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And if you want to win a championship in the MAAC, you're going to have to play the way we played on defense today. We got to play like that for the next 4 games.
As long as we play like we played today, unselfish, together on offense, and play together like we played on defense, against any team we play, we could beat anybody in the conference.
2 nights earlier, Friday night at the McCann Arena, Marist taking on Monmouth for their senior day. There is Emma O'Connor with her family, Casey Doolin, great turnout. And finally, Leanne Ockenden, smiles all around. And it was really smiles all around for the Marist benches. They were on fire from three-point land in the first half, nailing 8 threes. We're going to show you all here. Emma O'Connor was really firing out from the start, Dill.
Yeah, she was shooting great all day. And so were the entire Red Fox lineup. There's another one from Emma. That's 5. Just wow. They could shot the basketball so well.
They were really feeling it. And what's a party without Leanne Ockenden getting in on the three-point party, huh? Marist rolled 83-52, and here's what they had to say after the game.
Play on this floor again, so it's great to come out with a win, and pretty dominant win. This past week, we really have reflected on the past and looking back at old photos, just to see how much we've grown as a player on the court and off the court, and it's very special.
Just great human beings. You're not supposed to have favorite classes and stuff, but this just might be. And it's just because of the type of people that they are.
Welcome back to the Marist Sports Talk Network. I'm Garen Marchetti. This past weekend, the senior members of the Marist men's and women's basketball teams played their final home games at the McCann Arena. Both teams emerged victoriously. And today, I'm joined by a member of each of those teams. From the men's team, Pat Ramsey. From the women's team, Emma O'Connor. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show today and letting us talk to you guys.
Thanks for having us.
No problem.
Yeah, of course. So, Emma, we're going to start off with you. 4 years, came in as a freshman, didn't know what to expect. 4 years later, you're in your final season member of the Red Foxes. What was it like, that final game at McCann, all the pregame ceremony stuff, and then going out there and getting that W?
I mean, it was pretty overwhelming. I actually got really caught up and started crying. But, I mean, it was really good just to see all the support that came out, and that support's been there for the last 4 years. So, I mean, it was just a really good overall experience. It kind of, like, captured my 4 years of playing all in one. And, I mean, it was great to get the win. We played really well. All the seniors had a really good game along with the rest of the team.
And now the program, when you came in, had already established itself, was already a very good mid-major. And now when you're leaving here, you guys have done even more stuff. 3 straight MAAC championships since you've been here, going for your 4th. What's it like to be part of that history, part of that tradition, part of that success?
I mean, I think it was one of the reasons I came here because it was such a successful program, and I knew that I'd have a better chance of playing here than going to some big-time school. But, I mean, being a part of the success was awesome. Getting nationally ranked when I was a freshman and sophomore was, like, really cool. I mean, like, everyone just started to know about us. And then getting the NCAA tournament and getting some wins there, that was really cool. So, I mean, definitely want to try to do it again this year.
Now, Pat, moving on to you, you actually transferred in to Marist after 2 years at Emmanuel College. Talk about that experience. Talk about coming in 2 years and fitting right in with the guys, especially the members of the senior class, Adam, Jay, Peter. What was it like for you?
Oh, it was definitely a transition. When I first got here, I'm naturally a shy kid, so it was hard. I mean, it took a little while for me to get used to everyone, but by the end of my first year, I was friends with all the rest of the senior class.
Now, as a walk-on, your playing time has been limited, but on Sunday you got to get the start. You were the leading scorer at the first media timeout, hit a couple of big shots early on. What was that like to finally get out there and make the most of your first start like that?
It was crazy. I didn't, because we were supposed to run a play for me. The first play, it was called Horns Ram, where I would come up with gate screen, but Quinnipiac stopped that completely from happening. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have a chance to score. But then kind of got in the game, and I had one shot. My first shot I actually missed, and so I was like, okay, I gotta make one. So the second one went in, and then I think it was the next possession where I was able to score again, and I kind of accidentally made a move, and the ball went in the second time. So it was crazy.
Now you came back in at the end of the game. You were talking a little bit before we went on air about how you were tired that second time around because you weren't used to being out there as much, going full force.
Yeah, I was definitely not. That was kind of unexpected. I didn't really think I was going to get that tired because in practice I'm usually okay with running around and everything, but it was completely different in the game.
Gotcha. Now Sunday's game was the final regular season one for you, but Emma, your senior night was actually on Friday. You guys had another game on Sunday. You guys were able to go down to Iona and win a big game to clinch a share of the MAAC title for an 11th straight season. What was it like for you guys to go down there, face a team that you guys had lost to previously, and get the W and get a share of the title?
I mean, it was really cool to win because we wanted to keep Georgia's streak going of 11 in a row. But that game was pretty important to us. Iona came here and beat us at home, and we were unbeaten on the road in conference play, and they're unbeaten at home. So, I mean, we definitely wanted to try to, take it at them, and we played really well there. Tori and Casey had unreal games, so it was good. It was a good way to end off our season, and it gave us a lot of momentum going into the MAAC playoffs.
Now, the regular season has ended for both the men's and women's teams. The women's team will go in as the 2nd seed in the MAAC tournament, while the men's team will go in as the 6th seed. So starting off with the women again, this is the first time that you guys haven't been the #1 seed in a very long time. Has the mentality changed at all for you guys with that? How are you guys preparing?
I don't think that really matters what the seeding is. I mean, if us and Iona are in the championship game, we wear red jerseys. It's not a big deal. But, I mean, it doesn't really change our mentality. We just want to go in, play one game at a time, and just try to make it to the championship game and keep playing the way we have been.
Now, Pat, you guys, obviously the most conference wins for a men's team in the last 6 seasons. You guys enjoyed some pretty big wins this year. Going in as a 6th seed, what's the men's team's mentality? What are you guys talking about facing Niagara on Thursday night?
We definitely have hopes to bring the title back to Poughkeepsie. We're going in there with confidence with the last win, but we don't want to be overconfident. We competed well against some of the top teams, and when we play our best, we're hard to beat. So.
Your opponent, Niagara, you guys split the regular season series with them. What are some things that they do to challenge you guys, and how are you guys going to counterattack that?
They have Antoine Mason, who is one of the top scorers in the MAAC, so we have to make sure we shut him down. And pretty much last time when we were there, they had another player step up who scored 25 points, their shooting guard. So we have to make sure that we shut down Mason and then we don't let anyone else beat us.
Cool. MAAC Tournament starts on Thursday night. Guys, best of luck. Thank you guys for coming on. We really appreciate it here at the Marist Sports Talk Network.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with some more Marist Athletics news after this.
Welcome back to MSTN. I'm joined by Garen Marchetti and Dylan Arthur once again. We just heard the great words of Emma O'Connor and Pat Ramsey. Very exciting time as we approach the MAAC tournament. So we're going to start and talk a little about the women. Garen, so how big was that game against Iona on Sunday?
Well, that was obviously huge, Justin, because Iona had beaten Marist on Marist's home court all the way back over winter break in January. That was the first home MAAC loss for the Red Foxes since 2009. The women were not excited about losing that game. They wanted revenge. They went down there and they did it in a huge way. 20-point victory over Iona, which is a very, very good basketball team. They're going in as the top seed in the MAAC tournament. Marist at number 2. Huge victory for the Red Foxes. Mm-hmm. Cannot stress that enough.
So now, do you look for any certain Red Fox to contribute for the MAAC tournament? You know, we know the senior play of Casey Doolin, Emma O'Connor, and Leanne Ockenden. Anybody else you see contributing?
I mean, I think a huge X factor has to be Tori Giroux, the redshirt junior who's missed significant time since she came to Poughkeepsie after transferring from Vanderbilt. She had a huge game against Iona on Sunday, had 23 points, 14 rebounds, her first double-double in a Red Fox uniform. She's going to be a huge player down that stretch. She's one of the tallest players, if not the tallest player on the floor for the Red Foxes at a time. So if they can get her the ball, if she can get a lot of confidence and keep that momentum that she got from this last regular season game, she's going to be a huge X factor for them moving forward.
You know, we talked to Coach Georges in the beginning of the year, the basketball season, and he said, you know, you have to be sharp in March. You know, how important is it for them, you know, mentally to overcome the fact that, you know, we're not the 1 seed like we have been in the past, but in order to beat a team like Iona once again, what do you think they need to do basketball-wise?
Well, Emma O'Connor just said it. All it's going to change is if they're going to wear a red uniform instead of a white uniform. You know, it's not going to make a difference for them. They have that same mentality, and they're not underdogs. I mean, they've won this thing the past 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Right. They're going for, it might be their 10th straight MAAC title. But they're not underdogs. They have the target on their back still, and they're going to keep playing as if they're that top seed, keep getting hungry. The seniors don't want to go out by being that class that doesn't get the 4 years of MAAC championships. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it changes their mentality at all.
And one last thing as far as the women are concerned, Coach Brian Georges getting his 300th win. How great do you think that is as far as what he means to the Marist basketball program?
Well, I think it's huge, especially for this senior class. I know in his post-game press conference on Friday when the Red Foxes defeated Monmouth on senior night at McCann, he talked about how this class was one of his favorites, if not his favorite, during his tenure as the head coach of the Red Foxes. And I think it meant a lot to them to get that victory, especially against Iona, one of their biggest rivals in the conference. Huge win.
Now,
for sure.
Do you, going into the MAAC tournament, just in a MAAC question in general, do you see any surprise team, some team that, you know, everybody else in the MAAC should look out for?
Yeah, I mean, I think Fairfield and Quinnipiac are 2 other teams that could challenge the championship matchup of Iona and Marist that I think a lot of people want to see. Fairfield defeated Marist in Poughkeepsie a couple weeks ago, and I know Marist had defeated Quinnipiac pretty handily at McCann also a couple weeks ago, but that first game that they played back in December, I think it was a very close game. Quinnipiac, a newcomer from the Northeast Conference, they had a lot of success there. And they're definitely a team to be reckoned with right now. They're coming in as the 4th seed. So either of those 2 teams are teams that could spoil the Marist-Iona matchup that people want to see.
All right. Well, it should be an exciting time for the women. Now, moving on to the men, Dill, what a game on Sunday. You had the pleasure of calling it with Garen.
Yeah,
you just want to talk to us a little bit about what do you think they did right in that game,
Everything, Justin, everything. There wasn't much that the Marist basketball team did wrong in that game. I mean, they shot close to 50% from beyond the three-point line. They were active on the defensive end. They eclipsed the 100-point mark. Everything seemed to be working for them. Everybody contributed down the lineup sheet. They had great senior leadership from Jay Bowie, Adam Kemp, Pat Ramsey, Peter Prinswood. They all chipped in. There wasn't much that they did bad in that game. And I think it was a very important win for them to beat Quinnipiac. If you notice, their wins this year have come in clumps. They've been an extremely streaky team. Beginning of the year, they had that 5-game win streak. Their other wins came in streaks as well. They wound up finishing with 13 wins, so I feel like beating Quinnipiac, maybe they're going to launch onto another one of those streaks, see if they can string along a few of them. And hey, when you're in the MAAC tournament, got to win 4 games to become champions, so maybe they can do it. Yeah, we heard Siobhan Lewis say in his post-game press conference how, if they're playing as well as they did, they can beat anybody. And certainly they can. And as far as the key players, they got contributions up and down the lineup, but let's face it, you're really not going to shoot the ball that well, right, on a consistent basis. So do you look for any contributing player off the bench maybe for the Red Foxes? Well, biggest bench player for me is Manny Thomas. The energy he brings, especially on the defensive end of the floor, really fuels their offense. They're a team that kind of plays defense to fuel that offense. They like to get fast break points off of defensive stops, and he allows them to do that. Another player I looked that is big, they have a lot of guys that could score the ball. Right. They have Jay Bowie, they have Khalid Hart, they have Siobhan Lewis. But I think when they establish Adam Kemp down low, they're very tough to handle because that opens up wide open shots for guys like Lewis, guys like Hart, and guys like Bowie. They can take those open shots, they can drive, or they can set Adam up one-on-one if he has a size difference, which in the MAAC, when you're 6'10", you're going to find those size differences quite often. Right, and you just mentioned him, Khalid Hart. How impressed have you been, coming off his redshirt year, possibly MAAC Rookie of the Year? What do you have to say about him and his play this whole entire year? Well, last year you heard a lot about him. You heard a lot about his coveted high school career in Delaware. And, he didn't get to play last year due to injury, but he's been phenomenal this year, and he's really ran their offense. He's been phenomenal at the point guard position. He's controlled everything that they've done. He's the floor general out there. He calls the shots, and I would say he should definitely receive consideration for MAAC Player, the Rookie of the Year. Right. So one more final question. We've seen them play well and beat a team like Quinnipiac, scoring 103 points, and we've seen sometimes losses to poor teams such as St. Peter's and Fairfield. How far can this team go, and what do you see them doing? I think that game against Quinnipiac on Sunday really showed that the sky's the limit for this team. They could go out there and they could lose to Niagara in the first round. They could go out there, they could beat Niagara and go on a little run and get all the way to the MAAC title game. In my honest opinion, they have the ability to beat anyone in the MAAC. Quinnipiac was the #2 seed going into Sunday, and they beat them by over 30 points. So it really depends upon which Red Fox team shows up. If they play strong defense, use it to fuel their offense and shoot the ball consistently, I think they have a chance to go extremely far. If they don't do that, they could be having an early round exit. So it's really going to depend upon which Red Fox team shows up. But let's hope that the team that showed up on Sunday against Quinnipiac is the team that shows up this upcoming weekend. Well, we'll certainly see what happens. These guys know a lot about basketball, so hopefully they're right. We'll be right back on the Marist Sports Talk Network. Welcome back to the Marist Sports Talk Network. I'm Justin Angelo, joined in studio by Sean Molloy. Sean actually is our Marist Student Athlete Performer of the Week. Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. So you just got back from ECACs. You want to tell the people about how that went?
Yeah, yep. We just, Marist Swimming Diving Team, men and women, just got back from ECAC Championships, which was held at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. And it was a great success. Both teams performed very strongly. I believe the men finished 3rd, and I think the women were 4th. So it was a great meet, a lot of strong swims and a lot of strong diving performances, and yeah, I'm stoked on how it went. Yeah, so you talked about strong diving performances. You yourself were the champion in the 3-meter dive. How does it feel to go out on top as a senior? It feels great. It was actually the 1-meter diving, but I was kind of shaky going in because I was nervous about my shoulder, but I kind of got really confident after MAACs because I knew that if I could hold up at MAACs, then the stress would be off for ECACs, and I could just kind of let all my stress go and just give it my best performance, and that's what happened, and thankfully I ended up on top.
Right, so you separated your shoulder about 2 weeks before MAACs, right?
Yep.
You know, you just want to tell us about how that road to recovery was and how rewarding it was to actually see yourself, you know, succeed in your last meet.
Yeah, definitely. It was tough. It was my third dislocation, so at that point, after the third one, I got really down because I thought that was the end of my season. I didn't think I could come back and rehab 2 weeks out, being, you know, having such little time to come back. And you know, I just rehabbed it a lot. I worked with the trainers and did a lot of just visualization. I didn't really touch the board for like a week, and then started doing jumps, started doing feet first entries, and then actually did you know, my list once before. I did it for 1 day before I went to MAACs, and then just kind of kept icing it, resting it, and then just tried to forget about it, besides the fact that I was wearing the brace, which was weird getting used to, but after I got used to it, and I kind of forgot about it during the meet, and that definitely helped build some confidence.
Now, I was talking to your coach earlier today, and you were very close to qualifying for NCAAs, right? And two of your teammates actually are going to NCAAs. You know, just want to talk a little bit about how it is to see them go for it and compete against the best divers in the country.
Yeah, the NCAA zone meet is a really competitive meet, really fun meet. I went sophomore and junior year. Unfortunately, this year I missed it by 0.9 just at ECACs on the 1 meter, which was pretty heartbreaking. But I was kind of laughing at how close the margin was to 300 that I missed it by. And but they don't need me. Those guys, Josh Dodway and Kim Tobias, are, you know, they're the best divers we got, so they're going to represent us very well, and I'm psyched to see how they do.
Right, and Kim won MAAC Diver of the Week.
She did.
Diver of the Year. You know, you just want to talk a little bit about her and what she meant as far as the women's program, and then winning the Maris 100th MAAC title. Yeah,
I mean, Kim is an outstanding diver. She's been training really hard. She's gotten a lot better this year mechanically, and just she fixed up the issues that she needed to fix up on the board since last year, and she was looking better than ever, and it was well deserved that she finally took the MAAC win on the 3 meter and the MAAC Diver of the Year, because that was huge. She should have earned that. I thought all 3 years with how hard she's been working, but it was great to see her finally get that title. And then going into the 100th win was huge. I mean, I'm really happy for the girls team. They all earned it, and they've been working hard all year for that. And it was good to see that the women's swimming diving program was getting some recognition for capping off the 100th MAAC win.
So, are you going to continue diving recreationally when you're done?
Yeah, probably not as much as I have been. I'm probably going to take a little vacation from the diving board, but I might go back to see my old club team, and then maybe just do some cliff diving in the summer,
awesome.
Just for fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Sean Molloy, I'm Justin D'Angelo. We'll be right back on the Maris Sports Talk Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for our closing segment. He's Garen Marchetti once again, and this guy over here is Dylan Arthur. So, guys, one last comment. Any thoughts about Maris Athletics in general for this upcoming weekend, or anything in the past that you've been impressed with?
Well, it's obviously a big weekend for the men's and women's basketball teams. Just want to say best of luck to those two programs. We've dealt with their athletes on and off the court. Great bunch of players, better people, in my opinion. And especially going out to the men's team, getting the most conference wins that they've had in the last 6 years. Best of luck to them in the upcoming MAAC tournament.
Dylan, anything you got?
Sticking with the theme of basketball to start off, I would just like to say I want to wish luck to all the fellow seniors. I know we're seniors, but good luck to Leanne Ockenden, Casey Doolin, Emma O'Connor, Jay Bowie, Adam Kemp, Pat Ramsey, and Peter Prinsloo. You know, we went through our 4 years watching them play basketball, so my school experience has involved them and going to the McCann Arena and watch them, and I wish them the best of luck. Another thing I'd just like to note is the 100 MAAC championships for Maris as a school. That's huge. Does a lot for our athletic program, and just congratulations to the athletes and to the women's swim team. I believe is the team that did it.
Yes, the women's swimming and diving team.
Congratulations to them on being the team that's able to crack it. But there's been a lot of teams who have contributed, especially since the 4 years we've been here. We've gotten the privilege and had the chance to see a lot of really great teams play. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to the program in general.
Yeah, it certainly was great for the women. Because if you look at the swimming and diving program, they make up the most percentage of MAAC championships.
Right. So
if you really want to pick and choose which team should have won it, it's really something to see them and how successful they've been since Coach Van Wagner took over.
The only team in the MAAC to have 100 school athletic championships.
Yeah.
So definitely a really big deal.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think there's just so much emphasis put on the major sports at our school that a lot of people tend to overlook teams like the swimming and diving team, who just have such great programs, and they have had them for years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, that just about does it, guys. Once again, I'm Justin D'Angelo, Garen Marchetti, Dylan Arthur. We'll be back next week, and we'll give you all the coverage that happened this upcoming weekend for the MAAC Tournament. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.